What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Listen, The Hard Truth is all about the hard truth that those middle-aged men, those professional men, that you need to hear. You're busting your ass, you're going to work every day, you're striving to be a phenomenal business owner or lead in your company. You're coming home and you want to strive to be a great husband and you want to be a phenomenal mentor and father to your children. But at the end of the day, you've looked in the mirror and you're a shell of the man you used to be physically. And you're tired of using the excuse that it's just life. You remember when you were a young man, you made a promise to yourself that you were going to have it all. You were going to win this impossible game in life and win across the core four of body, being, balance, and business. Because after all, what good is it to dominate just one area if the other three areas are falling apart? Can you tell me what good it is to have all the money in the world if you die early because you neglected your health? Can you tell me what good it is to sit down here and be a phenomenal father, but not be able to make money to provide for them, to give them the opportunities that you didn't have? And so that's why we want to give you tips every single solitary week, ways that you can level up your life. And we're committed to helping you. And the reason we're committed to doing this is because I have two companies. My first company, Soldier Fit, where we have a mission to beat the obesity epidemic in this country. By 2030, 50% of Americans will be obese. It is literally a national security risk. It's listed because our young men and women cannot pass a basic physical fitness test to go into the military. And then in my coaching program for professional men, middle-aged men who are fathers, who are husbands. And the reason I have these two companies is because in the herd, where we're targeting men that have found success in the other areas of their life, but they've let their bodies go, is because we know that men are the standard bearers in the family. Men's love is discipline. And discipline oftentimes gets a negative rap. Discipline is forsaking what I want right now for what I really want long term. And you have to ask yourself, have you failed to be disciplined in your body? Because men, your body is a scoreboard. When you walk into a room, people will look at you and they will instantly, this is a non-negotiable fact, people instantly respect men that are in shape right out the gate. If I send an in-shape, lean, jacked man into a room and I send him in there paired with an obese man, the man that is lean and jacked is instantaneously going to get respect. There's no need for us to pretend otherwise, because what it tells everybody in the room, what that strong handshake tells them, is I'm a man of my word. I make a commitment to myself. I didn't feel like getting before him. I got before him because I said I was going to do it. And so here, what we want to do is we want to challenge this narrative that you're just old. You're not old, you're middle-aged. And even if you're old, I know 60 and 70 and 80-year-old men that are in better shape than 30-year-olds. Why? Because they stopped making excuses. And so when we're looking at here, I want to give you guys some tips. If you're a middle-aged man and you're looking like, where do I start with fitness? What do I do? I want to make sure that I give you the ability to get one foot out the door. And the reason I want to do this is because I know that if we're ever going to have any type of hope of beating this obesity epidemic, it's going to start with dad getting in shape. And that's why we do what we do to herd, is to help middle-aged men specifically. And with Soldier Fit, the truth is we're kind of the opposite. We're 75% female. And so knowing that we wanted to be able to help men, knowing that we wanted to be able to target men, we created the herd. And the herd is based off of this understanding and this belief that you are going to run headfirst into life storms. That's why our motto, our mantra is head down, horns up. And so what I want to do is I want to make starting a program easy for you. The first thing that I'm going to give you, and I'm going to give you 10 tips today to help you get started. Tip number 1 is look for simplicity and accessibility. One of the things that I often hear people talk about is that they aren't invested in fitness. They don't have the money to invest in fitness. Well, my friends, I encourage you to go Google the cost of diabetes. It's $19,736 per year, with $12,022 per year directly attributable to the treatment of diabetes itself. And you want to sit around and bitch about spending money on a gym membership? Come on, man, get real. Get real. You're going to make the investment one way or the other. It's just the outcome that's going to be different. But an easy way for you to start this is free 99. Outside is free. Inside your house that you're already paying for, there's no additional cost there. Just start with straightforward movements. Start with low impact, use chair-based movements. Do this to help build confidence. There's really little to no risk of injury. You don't need special equipment. Your body is a weight. One of the things they taught us in the military is that I can get you tired doing this, just cherry pickers. The body can get the workout. Static hold, isometrics, calisthenics. All of these are things that you can do in order to be able to start you headed down the road to getting in shape. My tip number 2 is look at time efficiency so that you can no longer use time as an excuse. Plain and simple truth is we need just 3 workouts a week. You can start off with half hours, eventually build them to an hour, but even if you do 3-hour-long workouts per week, guys, it's 3% of your entire week. So you can easily maximize this by always walking. When we talk about the easiest way for you to start to look at body recomposition, we can pay attention to what we're eating, focus on that protein, and just start getting in more steps. That by itself is going to help you. You can start off by raising your desk so that you have a standing desk. You can park further away from the grocery store. You can take the steps instead of the elevator or the escalator. And you can do 3 30-minute workouts per week, more than enough time to see results from a program that you're doing. And it doesn't set you back at all. Focus on joint-friendly exercises. Listen, if you look at things and you're dealing with any type of knee, back, shoulder issues, number 1, we want to make sure that we're actually understanding this concept that motion is lotion. Most people continue to have pain problems because they don't move their body. That's first and foremost. But we can look at things like cycling, water aerobics, the elliptical machine. All of these are options for you to start moving your body, start getting that motion in without any real risk of jarring a joint or hurting a knee or throwing out your back. Tip number 4, consistency over intensity. It wins 7 days a week, baby. Don't worry about trying to get in shape in this workout. Worry about getting this workout in. And that's such an important thing for us to wrap our heads around. Every day is not going to be a PR. Every day is not going to be your best workout. Some days your body is legitimately sore, tight, especially as you start beginning a workout program. What we don't want this to do is to become something where you're like, oh my God, I dread this. It's killing me. I don't feel like I can move. I don't feel like I can work. What we want you to focus on is consistency. I'm going to go get my steps in every day. I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week on these 3 days, or at least 3 days a week. I'm going to get X amount of protein per day. I'm going to get X amount of water in per day. Just consistent improvement every day is how we get there. That brings us to the next thing. And arguably the biggest mistake that I see people make is they don't set clear and achievable goals. So many folks come and sit in front of me and they give me affirmations instead of goals. So how do you know it's an affirmation versus a goal? It's pretty straightforward. If you say it, but you can't quantify it, then it's an affirmation. So for example, if you say, I want to lose some weight. Okay, well, how much weight? By what time? If you lose a pound a day, are you happy? And so many times people look at me and go, of course not, it's only a pound, I need to lose 50. So weight loss in and of itself isn't the goal. 50 pounds of body fat gone is a goal. Also, we want to make sure we're doing this in a reasonable time period. So for example, most programs will recommend a 1 to 2 pound weight loss per week max to be healthy and sustainable. Now, if you're coming to me and you've got 300 pounds to lose, then the reality is your body wants to get rid of that weight. You may drop 5 pounds in a week. Hell, you might even drop up to upwards of 10 pounds in a week because your body doesn't want to carry it. You weren't doing any movement. But if we're talking about slow, sustained, making sure that you don't get that yo-yo effect going on, 1 to 2 pounds of weight loss is great, which means if you've lost a half a pound, that's not bad. You're right in that range of sustainable weight loss. At the end of the day, if you lose a pound per week, over 12 weeks, you're down 12 pounds. And more than likely, if you've lost it in that format, it's going to be predominantly body fat, not muscle. And you're going to love the way your body looks at that new recomposition. Next up, you're going to want a supportive community. It's often been said that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. I don't care who you are, whenever you're starting a new endeavor, especially an endeavor where you don't have a lot of confidence in. And this is the case for men that have allowed themselves to get out of shape or men that have never been in shape in their life. You have a proven track record of failure when it comes to your health and fitness. Having a supportive community, especially of men that have been where you have been and can guide you and give you tips to support you on this journey, but also to collapse that time standard so that you get to the results you want in the fastest, most efficient way possible. Next, you want to make sure that you have nutrition alignment. A workout in and of itself, not paired with a solid meal plan, is doomed for success, is doomed for failure. What we want to be able to see is it doesn't matter what meal plan, what diet you use. It doesn't matter. All diets work. Keto works, vegan works, paleo works. They all work. The question that we really have to ask is, will they work for you? And what I mean by that is not whether or not the macronutrients add up or the calorie count is there. If keto, for example, are you going to deal with the pain in the ass that comes with, I can only have meat and fat wherever I go? Most people are not. And they're going to be on the road and they're going to be hungry and nothing else is going to fit their ketogenic diet. And so they're just going to cave and they're going to have that big ass piece of bread or that pizza. And then they're going to feel like shit because they said they weren't going to do it and they did it anyway. So the real key is finding a nutritional alignment, a meal plan, a program that's built for you that you are comfortable sticking to. Because at the end of the day, you can eat anything in moderation. Next up, you want to talk about the mental health benefits. Oftentimes in the fitness world, we talk about non-scale victories. And this is why I'm such a big proponent for men tracking everything. Have the data. Track your lift. Track your cardio time. Track your waist measurements. Track your BMR. Track your percent body fat. Track your skeletal muscle. Because what it's going to allow you to do is to get micro wins throughout this journey, which is going to re-energize you and keep you on the path. Far too many men only use two things as a judgment for their success: the mirror and the scale. And both of those things, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on what you did the night before, can steer you wrong. If you are using real data points and tracking everything through some system or software that's going to be able to provide you with real world data so that you can chart your progress over the time, I promise you it is going to motivate you. It is going to get you back on. And if in worst case, if something isn't working, it's going to allow you to have a clear, undeniable data point that says, this isn't working. Let's make an adjustment here. And we can make an adjustment in real time versus going 3-4 months wondering why we're not seeing results. Next up, point 9, get your family involved. Listen, look your kids in the eyes and tell them daddy is going to do this. Tell them daddy is going to do it. And what I have found is when we make it bigger than ourselves, when we make it about the example we're setting for our children, then that reminds us that when the alarm goes off, get our ass out of bed. Because how are we as a man going to tell our children to push through when times get tough when we cave? But the truth is, everybody will quit on themselves very easy. We actually, as a species, as a herd species, pun intended, we don't quit on other people, especially when other people are dependent on us. And so what we want to be focused on, what we want to drive on is getting that family involved, A, so that they're a support element for you, B, so they're going to be a cheering element. They're going to love to see dad getting in shape. They're going to love to watch dad losing that weight and become the superhero that they believe that you are. But more importantly, it's going to give you a reason, because striving to be a great role model for your kids is a much better motivator than a six-pack that you don't have today when the donut is looking at you. Last up, adaptability and flexibility. You have to learn to make this part of your life. It has to become your identity. And so when you go on vacation, you may not work out as hard as you work out back home because you're taking this time to wind it down a little bit. But now that you're a person that works out, you're going to hit the gym while you're on vacation. You're going to be a person who takes pride in their appearance, pride in their health. So you're not going to be the person that goes out and goes on a bender every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. You know that you are a dad that is setting the standard. And if we have this identity and we pair this with a tribe of men that are walking the same walk as you, that have the same goals as you, that are looking to level up and be the leader in their home, to be able to protect, to be able to provide, to be able to preside, and knowing that they've earned that status, that right in their family because they led themselves first, then my brothers, my friends, you are destined to do what I've done. Lose over 100 pounds. I've lost over 150 pounds in my life if you count when I fought and cut all the way down to 145. You're going to be like the other men who have leveled up across their core four of body, being, balance, and business. And you're going to be able to win this impossible game in life called having it all. If you got anything out of today's show, man, please, by all means, give us a like, subscribe, share. Any counterpoints you got, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. And most importantly, if you know another middle-aged father that's overweight and they're struggling and they want to start some type of workout program, they want to get up off their ass and they want to get moving, be a good battle buddy and send this to them. As always, guys, I'm going to come here with you every single solitary week and give you the hard truth, that hard truth you don't want to hear, but the men that win run towards it. Head down, horns up, salute.